firewall, what is context, and what is the use cases of context in production. Okay, this is the like very nice feature which they introduced in Cisco ASA firewall, and also other vendor firewall like Palo Alto, Checkpoint, they also support that features. Okay, so context means we are just dividing one physical box into multiple logical box. Okay, let's suppose we purchase one big box and we got a three companies. Okay, so what happens now? Now we just configure the contexting on the Cisco ASA firewall, and we just allocate the interface, particular interfaces to that companies. Like I am having that company A and company B. So basically I will configure the context on ASA, and I allocate this interface and this interface for company A, and this interface for company B. I can also like allocate the resources, that kind resources like what kind of telnet session, that connection session, accelerate connection. So how many like session I need to provide to that company, it depends on how much they are paying to you. Okay, so let me go through with the slide first, after we will see. Context mean we can also call it like virtual firewalls. Okay, by default when we got a Cisco ASA firewall, it is in a single mode. Okay, it is not in a context mode or multiple context mode. It is in single mode. Okay, turn a single physical device into multiple virtual devices. Okay, we just convert that single box into multiple logical virtual box. Each security context represent an individual virtual firewall. Means when we divide this firewall into the context, after that every context work as a firewall. Okay, independent firewall. These are the features which is not supported in a context. Okay, so let's first one is a standard ACL, that is not supported. Second one is multicast routing. Third one is threat detection. Last, this one is phone proxy, dynamic routing protocol. See, till version 9.0 that ASA firewall does not support the dynamic routing protocols in context mode. But the thing is, above that 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.6, basically the latest version of Cisco, which is a 9.9. Okay, so on that version, basically dynamic routing we can configure inside the context. Same thing with the VPN also. Now we can all initiate the IPsec VPN and SSL VPN. There is only one condition: the version must be above 9.0. Okay, remember this thing. Basically, people ask these two questions: what is the difference between version 8.4 and the version 9.x onwards, like this. Okay, type of context. Basically, in system we have a different kind of context. Okay, so first one is a admin context. As name suggests, admin context means it is responsible for doing the administration of that firewall. Okay, after it we have a user defined context. These are the actual context. Okay, where which we use for configuration of ACL, NAT, routing, that kind of things. And these are the like firewalls, independent virtual firewalls. Okay, number of contexts depend on the model, platform, and license. See, generally what happens with the base license, we create only two contexts. Okay, if we like want to divide this firewall into 10 companies, right, or 8 companies, so for that we need to check with Cisco like what they will give. They will give us the model number. You can use this model number. Okay, and we also need a license for that. Okay, ASA 5510 and 5512X equal to 0 context in base license, 2 context maximum 5 security into the security plus. If we have a security plus license, then we can configure the maximum of 5 context. If we have a base license, then we configure the 2 context. Okay, these are the ASA model, which is 5520, 5525, 5545, and 5555. That supports the 2 context only. You don't need to remember these things. Okay, you just remember we need a license if we want extra context. These are the very high-end models, ASA 5580 and 5585X series. They support that much context, 5, 10, 20. Either it support 5, either 10, either 20. It is not like that. We can configure the 8 context. It not support. Okay, means 5 means it is like 5. 10 means it is 10. Not like if we get the license of 20, then we need to configure 20 context. Okay. System execution space. If when we create a, so the thing is, these are the like configuration, how we can start the configuration of context. So first one is, first we create the context. After that we allocate the interfaces to the context. After we define the config file location for the context. After we assign the resource class. This resource class we generally use for allocating the resources, like how many connections we want to provide for the for particular context, how many telnet sessions. Okay, that kind of things there. Define the admin context. We can also define the admin context. Generally, when we convert our firewall into the multiple context mode, there is one context already created, which is admin context. Okay, or we can also make admin to other contexts. Depends on you, like how you want to configure. Admin context only one per box, means we can configure only one admin context in a box. Used to connect to system execution space. It has administrative rights over all other contexts, means we use this admin context for administrating the other context. Any user logged into this context has administrative rights over all other contexts. Say if I am logging as a admin context user, that time I can modify other context also. Okay, user defined context used to actually segregate the traffic flows. Okay, means now we are just segregating the particular traffic of a company. Represent an independent virtual firewall. Management connections towards each context have local rights only. Means if we log in into that context, then we have a rights to manage this context only, not other ones. So now configuration starts. So let me, yeah, these are the configuration part only. So now I will show you how we can configure the context. So this is my firewall. So when you got this box, first you run this command. So mode. Here you get the security context mode is single, means it is not running in a multiple context mode. Okay, you also need to run this command. So firewall, the firewall mode must be router. Okay, not transparent. So how you can change the mode? So there is a command mode multiple. Okay, when you run this command, now it is asking for your confirmation, because when we change the ASA from single mode to multiple mode, we need to reboot this firewall once. Okay, so I'll just enter, because see, when you see the confirmation inside these brackets, means if you press the enter, then it takes the confirmation automatically. You can also write here, depends on you. Convert the system configuration, means see, Right now we have some configuration in my ASA firewall. So what happens? It is just taking the backup for that. Okay. See the old here. I'm getting this message as well also. Old running configuration file will be written to flash, converting the configuration. This may take several minutes for a large configuration. The admin context configuration will be written to flash. Okay. The new running config file was written to flash. Security context move multiple. See now it is starting the reboot process. Okay. So this command we use for check are firewall running in a context mode or not. So mode. Change context mode to multiple. We run this command mode multiple. Okay. Mode no confirm multiple. We can also use this command mode no confirm then multiple. Okay. So what happens when we run this command only? It asks for confirmation. If we add this keyword no confirm, then it don't ask for confirmation. Ask for reconfirmation. ASA creates a security context name admin. See, when we change this firewall into context, it creates one admin context. Okay, automatically. Running config is converted into the system config of admin context. Okay, our running configuration saved into the in with the admin context only. Okay, original config is saved as old running.cfg. This is the name of our file. Okay, interface that are enabled are assigned to admin context only. So means when we convert our ASA into multiple mode, all the interfaces basically allocated with the admin context only. Okay, when we create a new context, after that when we allocate that interfaces to a particular context, then only these interfaces shown with that other context. This is the command to see flash memory. Okay, so define admin context and config file location. So we use this command admin context. After that, name of that context, admin context admin. Then we can use this command config minus URL admin.cfg. Okay. If we want to create a new context, so we use this command context. After that, we can define the name. Like if I have a like company A, so I'll give the name A. If I have a company B, so I'll give the name B. Generally, in production, people use the C1 means context 1, C2 means context 2, like this. Okay. Define config file location. After it, we define this location. Okay. We can use this command config URL flash or this one only config URL then name of the file.cfg. It automatically save into the flash memory. How we can allocate the interfaces to context? That is the command allocate interface. After that, the interface name. Assign resource class list. For that, we need to run this member. After we give the class name. Okay. All these command we run into the admin context always. Okay. Now to go to one context to another. If we want to switch between that context, so we use this command change to context. After that, we give the name like C1 or A. It prompt.hostname.context Cisco slash C1. After that, it shows that this one config. Okay. This is for resource management. A resource class is used to impose a limit on a context in terms of feature that it can use. Okay. Like we can define the Cisco HDM connections. We can define the telnet sessions. How many telnet session we basically give for one that this context C1 or context C2. We can define the SHS sessions. We can define the address translation or exit table connection limit here. We can also define the host that can connect that kind of information basically. We can define into the resource class. After we run this command show resource type, it gives us the what kind of resources we have. A class is defined with some resource limit. Up we give this name class and we define the name. After that we give limit resource in the resource name and the limit. Here we define the limit. Limit resource like rate connection 25. We are just limiting the rate of our connection till 25. Okay, so that is the way how we can limit the resources. Finally, the class is assigned to the context on which resource limitation lies to the applied. Okay, after it when we go to the context and we just call the class and we give the class name, or we can call a member and we set the class name. We can apply this class with the context by using two ways. Okay, either we use this command, either we can use this command inside the context config. These are the verification commands: show context, show resource allocation, show resource uses. So let me check my ASA come back or not. It is still starting. Takes some time. There in context we have some packet classification criterias. Okay, what happens? Either we can, if we have a more interfaces in our firewall, so we basically allocate unique interfaces. Like in our lab, I'll have four interfaces, so I allocated Ethernet 1 and Ethernet 4 with the company A, or I'll just use this one as a context C1. Okay, and I'll have company B here, and I'll use this one as a context C2. So I'll allocate these into Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 2. So let me write the name C2, context C2, context. I'll, so this part is context C2 and this part is context C1. Okay, I'll got my firewall. If I'll check the mode, so mode, see, now my firewall running in a multiple mode. Okay, I'll also check the my firewall is a routed mode or not. So it is in routed mode also. Okay, so these are the verification commands. So now if I run this console context, basically I'll get one context which is admin context, and see that asterisk sign basically indicates this is a admin context. Okay, if we like, if we change the name of some this context and we just give them like, I'll give the name like administrator, so if anyone have this asterisk sign means it is a admin context. Okay, remember this thing. This is the file basically where that admin context is saved. Right now basically it is have a default class. Okay, if I run this command, so context, what command I'll have here, it can gives us the detailed. Okay, it gives you a detailed, this detailed like information of regarding that context. Okay, This is admin context has created. This is a config file. Okay, these kind of things there. So I'll go with according to that slide here. So if I run this command clear context, I don't have this command here. No context admin. So let me remove this context first. Okay. If I run this command show context, it is still having that context. I don't know. Cannot remove the admin context. Use clear configuration context. Okay, that is the command. Sorry guys. Clear configuration context. It is confirming. So it remove all the context. Okay, in one shot. So if I run this command, so context, I don't have any context. Okay, so let me now create new context. Okay, so I'll give this command to create the admin context only. Okay, admin context. After that, I'll define the name. So let me, I'll use this name, administrator, not admin. Okay, administrator. Okay, now I'll just put into that context administrator. So for that I need to write full name administrator. Okay, now after that I'll define, this is mandatory, we need to define the URL. Okay, I'll define the config URL flash. After we give the name, so name must be this one only, admin.cfg, in case of this admin context only. After it we also allocate the interface to him. Allocate interface. Let me allocate few interfaces. So let me allocate the management interface. Management 0. Let me check what kind of information I'll have. So interface IP brief. So I don't have management, that's why actually in this. Actually I'm using 8.4 version today, that's why. So it has a Ethernet 0, Ethernet 1, 2, 3. So let me check in my diagram. I'm using Ethernet 0, 1, 2 and 4. Okay, so I'll have one interface free, which is Ethernet 3. So let me allocate the Ethernet 3 interface with this. Allocate interface Ethernet 3. We are done with this context config. Okay, so basically right now basically there is also one more context on, it's not a context, basically we call this one as a system context. Okay, so right now I'm in a system context. So if I want to go to into my admin context, I always need to run this command. Okay, administrator So if I run this command, so context, so I'll have one context with a asterisk, means it is a administrator context, and I'll also have one Ethernet interface which is allocated with this. Okay, so now let me create few more context, which is context C1 and context C2. Okay, so I'll use this context C1. After that I use this config URL. I'll give this name C1 dot CFG. I'll allocate the interfaces, allocate interfaces. So what kind of interfaces I'll have? Ethernet 1, Ethernet 4. So first I use Ethernet 1. After that I use Ethernet 4. Now I again create one more context, which is context C2. I'll give this command config URL. After it say here I am using that flash. After C2 dot CFG. So you can either use flash or either use direct name. Okay, but the thing is format must be CFG. Now I just allocating interface with this. So Ethernet 0 and Ethernet 2. Now if I run this command, so context, here I'll have three contexts now. C1 class is default. These are the interfaces. These are this is the like flash memory or disk 0. So if I run this command, so flash, here I have one file which is admin.cfg, and there is also some, so disk. So actually right now I am not able to see any these two files. Okay, if I run this command, write memory all, here we use all keyword. All means we are writing this configuration in other contexts as well, means if we made any changes anywhere, if we run this command, so that configuration will save into the startup config, into admin context, into C1 and C2, everywhere. See, it is getting it is saving with in this, it is saving in system context. Now after it is saving in administrative context, it is also saving into the C1 and C2. Okay, it gives that message. Now if I run this command, so this, now here I get these two files also. Okay, c1.cfg and c2.cfg. Let me also check into the flash memory. Here also I'll have the same files. Okay, so that is the way to configure context, and how we can create the context and how we can allocate the interfaces to them. Okay, now let me check into my slide what I have. We are done with this. We are also done with this. Okay, I'll show you that resource management later at the end of this class. I'll also note this one, packet classification. Okay, that is the last one. Okay, context. Now next what I am going to do, now I will configure the IP address, routing, everything, ACLs, NAT into from the admin, that context only. So for that, what I if so what I use, I'll use this command change to context C1. So now I am in context C1. Okay. Now I can write the, I can, if I run this command, so interface IP brief. So basically these are the interfaces which is I allocated from system context into my the context C1. Okay. So here I am getting, so how, if now I am going to configure the IP, it is like same interface Ethernet, Ethernet 1, no shutdown, IP address. I'll give the IP address which is 192.168 1.250. After that the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. Okay. I'll configure the IP address. Now I'll configure the name if. Name if is outside. That is I am configuring in context 1. Okay. So like how I can configure the virtual firewall 1 or context C1 or like company A network. After that I'll define the security level. Security level is 0. I'll just exit from here. Now I'll configure the other interface which is Ethernet 4. No shutdown. I'll give the IP address which is 10.1.1.250. After that the net mask. Now I'll set the name which is inside. Okay, so that is the way how we can configure the, like now basically when we run this command change to context C1, after that we can do anything, we can configure everything like we did in Cisco ASA firewall, right? In normal firewall which is running in single mode. So if I check my IP address, so interface IP brief. See, see here. Did you see? I'll run no shut command. Okay, but interface is still down. What is the reason for that? See, both the interface is still down. So remember one thing. We always run the no shut command into the system context. Okay. So if I want to come back into my context, so I run this command change to system only. We don't need to use here context. Okay, I'm now going back into my system context. If I run here, so interface IP brief. See, these interfaces administratively down. So if I'll go to in Ethernet 0, I'll just no set all the commands. Ethernet 1, no shutdown. Interface Ethernet 2, no shutdown. Interface Ethernet 3, no shutdown. Interface Ethernet 4, no shutdown. And exit. So interface IP brief. So now basically all our interfaces in up state. Now if I want to check what is the status in my context, so I run this command change to context C1. Now if I run this command here, so interface IP brief. Now interfaces are in up state. Okay. So let me also configure the IP address in my company A outside host. Okay. I will initiate some ping. Host name. I'll give A. Outside means company outside. Okay. I'll set the IP address. No shutdown IP address, which is 192.168 1 dot. Let's suppose I'll take the 100 here. 255.255.255.0. Okay, and exit from here. If I initiate the ping to my firewall, ping 192.168 1 dot 250, I am able to ping. Okay, so I am able to reach to my firewall. So this is working properly. Let me save the config. Now I'll go to into my inside host. I'll give the host name company A inside. Okay. After it, I'll configure the interface fast Ethernet 0/0, no shutdown, and the IP address, which is I'm using here 10.1.1.0 network. Okay, 10.1.1.100 255.255.255.0. Let me initiate the ping to my firewall. So I run this command. Do we can use P or we can also write this one ping. Okay, both will work. So I am also able to reach to my firewall. So connectivity is fine now. See what happens if this inside users want to go to the internet. So I need to give the default route here. Okay. So let me also add one default route. And the next of is IP address of my firewall. I'll just save my config. So the next thing now, let me go in my outside firewall. Let me enable the telnet here. Line BTY024. Password is Cisco and login. Enable. I'll set the enable password also. This is also I'll put the same Cisco. I'll save the configs. So now if I'll go in my inside host, Okay, if I telnet this guy, telnet to outside server, outside host, which is 192.168.1.100. it is it is like sending this towards that guy. Okay, and if I'll go to in this one, and I'll just run debugging, debug IP TCP LF packets. These are the like high level concepts, so okay, bear with me only. Just see, I want to show you I am reaching there or not. Let me again initiate. See, I am getting the packets, right? And what is the source in this packet? 10.1.1.100. Okay, if we see, the source is 10.1.1.100. So this one 10.1.1.100 is our inside network, right? And this is a private IP address, and this server is a public IP address, right? On a public network. So basically, that server is not aware about this route, right? This network, because it's a like private IP. It is aware of all the private IP address. So for that, what we configure the NAT on Cisco ASA firewall. Okay, so when this user send traffic towards this guy, so that source translated into the netted IP address. Okay, in netted IP address we use the interface IP address generally most of the time. So we configure the port address translation on Cisco ASA firewall. Now how we can configure? We just create same object network, we give the name pet subnet 00. After it I'll use the net statement. Net from inside, this is my inside zone. Inside to is someone going towards the outside. It is dynamically patted on a interface IP address. Okay, so this interface means outside interface. This inside means it is belongs to this subnet. Okay, this outside belongs to this interface. So so basically now we are configuring patting on my Ethernet Ethernet 1 interface, which have the public IP address. Okay, I'm done now. Okay, if I'll go to again into my inside user. Now if I initiate the telnet, see I'm getting the access. Cisco, I'll get the access of this outside user. Okay, so that is the way how we can configure PAT. Okay, let me exit from here and let me disable the debugging for TCP traffic, and let me enable the debugging for ICMP debug IP ICMP packets. Now I initiate the ping from inside. Ping to 192.168.1.100. Okay, the ping is not working, but it is getting the packets. And now see, what is the source? Source is 192.168.1.100. Not this one. Let me again initiate something. See, in destination, see 192.168.1.250. This is the IP address of our firewall interface. Okay, this is the reply packets, means it is sending the reply packet. So when inside user sends some traffic towards that outside guy, towards this outside user, when he send the reply, so basically it is showing the reply packets. In reply sources IP address of this interface of this router, and the destination is 192.168.1.250. This interface, because we are patting our all our inside traffic into this IP address 192.168.1.250. So now what can I do with the ASA firewall? So that ICMP traffic is also allowed. That ICMP reply from outside to inside. Yesterday I also yesterday I also saw that thing, right? How we can allow the traffic from low security level to high security level. Anyone remember what we need to configure in ASA firewall now? Okay. To bypass the security level checks, we always configure the access list. Remember this thing. So now I'll configure the access list, and I'll apply this access list into the outside interface. Access list out permit. I'm allowing the ICMP traffic. Any. Now I'll just apply this access list, not access list. For applying, we use always the access group. I'll give the name of access list. I'll define the direction which is inside, interface outside. Means we are applying this ACL in inbound direction of outside interface. Okay. Inbound means when we receive the traffic, this is the inbound direction, this is the outbound direction. In this way, inbound, this one is outbound for this interface. Okay. Now I have a access list. If I'll go to inside host, and if I again initiate the ping, see now ping is working and we are getting the logs here also. Okay. And in destination we have 192.168.1.250, means our pad port address translation are also working. So we are done with our company A configuration. So now let me start the configuration of company B. I'll do this config real quick only. So what I need to do, I just change to context C2. I can switch between the context from any context. I need to run this command only. Now I am in a context 2. We can also do this thing, change to system. First we go into the system context. Okay. From that system context we can run this command, change to context C2. Now I'm in context C2. So let me now again go into the system context. We don't need to write full command, change to context. We always use this command, ch then c then c2. I am in c2. Okay. If I'll go to in c1, ch c then c1. That name must be same. Okay. So that is the way how we can switch between the context. So let me go inside my context c2. Let me start the configuration here. So let me first check my interface. So interface IP brief. I'll have two interfaces. So let me assign the IP address to them. Ethernet 0. So Ethernet 0 is my outside interface. And outside I'm using 192.168.2.0 network. So I'll first, we don't need to run nosat here. Okay. If we run the nosat in system context, then it automatically like these interface become up. Okay. So I'll just directly configure the IP address 192.168.2.250, 255, 255, 255.0. Name if, I'll give the name if as outside. Now I'll configure the security level. By default, when we write this command outside, it takes the security level 0 by default, but make sure like you always run the command security level to configure that value. Like actually it is a problem with this version, that 8.4, if we configure the IP address or even name it, that console got hanged for like 1 2 seconds. So let me configure the security level, which is 0. Now I'll just exit and I'll go to in my other interface, Ethernet to, first I run the noset command. We don't need to run the noset, okay? So I directly configure the IP address. I am using the 10.2.2.0 network here. Okay, here I'll mention also 10.2.2.250. After it, the subnet mask 255.255.255.0. After it, I'll define the name which is inside. We can use these names similar on both the context, doesn't matter. But if we are running the AS in single mode, that time that name must be different. Okay, we can't configure same name with two interfaces. When we use inside keyword, then it takes automatically 100 security level. After that, I'll set the security level 100. So IP address is configured now. If I check, so interface IP brief, IP address available. If I run this command, so name is also available. Okay, and the security level with outside 0, inside 100. Now I'll configure the pet. Okay, object network pet subnet 00. After that, I'll use this command net inside going towards outside, dynamically pat it on an interface IP address. We also need to add a default route. Okay, in that context even I didn't add default route, but here I need to add. Basically we always need to add one default route towards the ISP. Okay, not IP route. Command is route 00, route outside 00. After that the next of IP address, so IP address of this guy. Let's suppose this guy having IP address 192.168.2.100. So 192.168.2.100. So route. Now I am having the route here. Okay, pointing towards this guy. So now let me configure these hosts as well quickly. Enable. I'll go into configuration mode. I change the host name. B outside. Since it's a outside host for company B, I'll give the IP. I'll set the IP address on fast Ethernet 0 says 0 interface, which is connected with ASA. IP address 192.168.2.100. 255.255.255.0, exit. Let me also add one loop back here. Okay, IP address 8.8.8.8 255.255.255.0, and enable the telnet line pty024 password Cisco and login here. So we are done with the configuration outside host. If I'll ping to my firewall, I will ping definitely 2.250. Not able to ping. Oh, let me check. I'll run the no shut on interface or not. So IP interface in brief. Actually, I didn't run that no shut command. That's why interface f0/0. Now my interface is come off. Let me run now. Ping is working fine. I am able to reach to my ASA firewall. Okay. So now let me go in my inside host as well. Conf t host name company B inside interface f0/0 no shut IP address. Here I am using 10.2.2. network. Okay, 250.255.255.255.0 no shut. I also add one default route because this host in the next hop IP address, which is my ASA inside interface IP address. Invalid next hop address. Do so IP interface brief. So actually I'll configure the wrong IP here. 0/0 IP address 10.2.2.100 255.255.255.0. Now if I run the same command, it will take definitely right memory. Okay. Let's verify telnet is working with the outside host or not. So I'll just run this command 8.8.8 because I'll created one loop back in my outside router. Okay, that's why I'm using this. I'm getting the access for telnet. Okay, this is the name of outside router. So let me exit from there. Let me initiate the ping 8.8.8 with a repeat count of, let's suppose, 1000. Ping is not working. So what I do, I'll open one access list in context C2. So I'll just access list out permit ICMP any. After that access group, I am just applying this access list out in interface outside. As soon as I apply, this ping is start working. Okay. So that is the way to configure the context and configure the ACL, configure the net in context mode of the firewall. Now only last thing is remaining. It takes around 5-10 minutes. Okay. So change to system. So class, we have one default class. Okay, so let me go to in PPT. Actually I forget that command to this class. Okay, so yeah, that is the command. So resource allocation. So resource allocation. So right now we have a this kind of allocation, right? Connection rate unlimited, inspection rate unlimited, syslog unlimited, connections unlimited, host unlimited. Only we have a HDM connection for 15, SHS 15, Telnet 15, Xrate unlimited. Okay, so that is the rate. If we didn't allocate any resources, so the thing is, all the contests got the same resources, right? If like contest 1 get the 50% of the resources, then context C2 also got the 50% resources. So how we can change that allocation? If like that company A or context C1 guy paying us more money, so we have to give more resources to them, right? So that is the, so for that we need to configure the class map. So how we can configure the class map? We just write this class, after we give the name and we give the limit resource, and after that we can give the name of this resource and limit. So how? I'll go to in my ASA. We need to configure this resource allocation from the system context only. Remember? Okay. So I'll give this class. I'll give the name for, like I am creating one class for C1, context C1. Okay. So in context C1, resource, what command we have here? Yeah, this is the command, limit resource. So ASDM connection. I'll just give the keyword ASDM. I'll give around 5 ASDM. Okay. Now limit resource. This one. I'll give the connection. We have to set in percentage. Okay. Value of the resource limit. Or we can define the percentage. So let me give, I'll give the 10%. Okay. We have also have a SHS session. So let me now set the SHS session, which is also 5. Telnet session, I also give that 5 only. And let me also limit the Xlate connection increase. Xlate. Here we can define either value, either percentage. So I'll give the 20%. Okay. I'll use this 20 after the percentage. Unknown, there is a something 20, and let me add the percentage now. Okay, 20 now. So that is the way how we can limit the resources. So now if I'll create one more class which is for context C2. So that is the command, class context C2. I'll give the name. After that I limit the resources. Limit resource. I'm limiting HDM resources. I'll give around 2 HDM resources. 2 SHS session. 1 मिनट। हाँ भाई, हो रहा बस 10 मिनट में। नहीं यार, 8:03 हुआ, अभी तो वो ज्वाइन किए थे, लेट किए थे ना। ठीक है, बस 2 मिनट बचा है, मैं कर ही रहा हूँ। 2 मिनट लास्ट चीज दिखा रहा था, 2-3 मिनट लगने हैं। ठीक है। So I am limiting the SS connection. Now let me limit the telnet session also. Limit telnet. I'll give limit the telnet as well. After that, now I am just going to apply this. So I'll go to inside that context config, context C1. Here I can run this command member. After that, I'll give the name of this class. I'll use same name, right? C1. Enter. Now let me apply the class for context C2. C2. We can I use here member command. Here I use the class keyword. Okay. C2. Now I applied that classes. So now if I run this command, show resource allocation, connection. See, now that connection is changed, value is changed, right? So we have one more command to see all the resources. So resource uses, I hope. So resource uses. This is the limited. So resource allocation. Yeah, that is the command detail. Okay. See, check ASDM. For context C1, ASDM is 5. For context C2, you can hear me right properly, or there is any echo. Okay, cool. This is the last minute only. So the thing is, in ASDM, I'll set for context C1, which is 5 ASDM connection. For context C2, I'll set 2. Okay. Now I for C1 also in SSS case 5 2. So that is the command, that is the like way to allocate resources. Okay. Okay guys, I'm done with the today class. We will meet you now on tomorrow. Okay. If you have any doubts, you just let me know. I will ping me on mail. I will get back to you. Okay. Thank you. Just carry on with your another class because I'll got a call from that guy.